Hey, Abroad Abroad.
What's up? We wanted to do a quick wrap up of Portsmouth. We left there a couple of days ago and just wanted to kind of put a ribbon on that area. So it was we were there for a week. We had left our pet sit in Tadley, and so we had a week before the pet sit here in Amberley. And what we've typically been doing is just choosing a city that is somewhere between the two pet sits. That seems interesting to us. And so Portsmouth was the option that we selected for last week. It's on the ocean, so it's a port city, as you might guess from the name of the city. It's got a very strong maritime military history to the city, and that's a very big component of what they have to offer from a tourism perspective, I would say. They have a D-Day museum that was just absolutely amazing. And
we spent almost for like 4 hours there.
Yeah, 4 hours. And at the end, we were kind of speeding along because we were hungry.
Yeah.
We wanted to go get something to eat.
Food.
Right. So anyway, I would highly suggest if you are ever in Portsmouth, definitely make sure the D-Day Museum is on your list of things to do.
Yeah, for sure.
And then we went to, I think we might even posted a video earlier on this. We went to the Spinnaker one day, which is the highest point in the city. And you can see 20 miles across the ocean to the Isle of Wight. And then, of course, you can get a whole view of the city and how it's laid out and all those sorts of things from that perspective. So that was...
Well, that's not true because you can only see the ocean side.
Well, you could go all the... No, well, yeah, you couldn't see directly behind us.
You couldn't see anything behind us.
But
it was all one side.
It was to the sides.
I was disappointed. I would say that it was not worth... I don't know how much it cost.
It was expensive.
How much was it?
It was it was $34 a person. 34 pounds a person.
Okay, so 34 pounds a person.
Yeah, it was expensive.
And it was not worth it at all. It's beautiful to look at, and I think that it's impressive as far as the architecture of it, but to charge that much to go up in an elevator to the top 3 floors, the first one is a cafe, is that right?
No, the first one is the one with the glass floor, so you can look down.
So that was neat. So there was a glass floor, and so I'm watching these kids play on this glass floor. I'm like, oh, that's neat, but I'm going to go across it slow. And I'm wearing my boots, and they're clean, but I go and I take a step, and I videotape my feet because you can see straight down, however far it is. And I'm going really slow, and people are just watching everybody. It's a kids area, and so anyway, I get to the end, and the lady that's in charge of this glass square, she says, "Please take your shoes off."
After she was done.
After I crossed it,
and she said it politely.
She was very polite.
So,
and I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know exactly what I said." Oh, I'm sorry. One time's enough. I'm sorry about that. I didn't know. Oh, I didn't even read the sign. But I was done anyway. So I wasn't going to do it again. One time's enough. But
for someone that doesn't like heights, it was a little bit of a stomach flipper to stand on it and look straight down. 110 feet, I think is what it was.
Yeah, it's a weird feeling. So then the next floor is a cafe.
Right.
And then we didn't even go in there. And then the third floor is supposed to be open. You walk out there, and this side's closed off, that side's closed off. Not closed like it's under construction, closed off. It's closed off with decoration where it's not meant to be seen on either side. All you have is this one wall that's open. It's glass, which is fine. And then the ceiling, there's no ceiling. So it has like a mesh, I don't know, chicken wire type protective stuff over the top. And that's it. And it was just very disappointing. this entire trip.
Right. So, but we won't hammer on that.
No, but I'm just making it clear. That was a disappointment.
So,
because not everything's good.
Then I would say probably the other highlights of what we did from a touristy perspective was the Cathedral. Again, it was built in, I think, 1160, something like that. Now it's gone through 3 refurbishments, but there are still some original parts of the church in place. The Cathedral, again, it was built in, I think, 1160, something like that. Now it's gone through 3 refurbishments, but there are still some original parts of the church in place. And when Penny posts her video of kind of all of our pictures, you'll see that be a prominent part, because it is a really neat structure. And again, just the history of all of the tombstones that are inside the church as well as outside the church. It's just a really neat way to experience that history. So I would recommend that. And then we went one day to eat lunch right across from the cathedral at a place called the Dolphin, which has been in business since 1712. So again, pretty incredible that you can walk into an establishment that has been in existence and operating for over 300 years. It's just a weird situation. I would say probably for me, those were the non-music related highlights. We did find a really cool metal bar called the Deco. I think Penny's already posted a video about that. And then one night we went to a music venue called the Wedgwood Rooms, and probably holds, I would guess, 700 people maybe. And got to see live music in that type of venue for the first time since last August.
Since we left.
Yeah.
We haven't seen a concert since we left the United States.
Right. Sammy Hagar in St. Louis on August 30th was the last one we had seen. So we were really looking forward to this.
We got front row.
Yeah. So it's a standing room only. And we got there early enough and made our way to the front. So we were going to have a good perspective of the show. While we were standing in line and just talking, of course, our accent immediately lets people know around us that we're not we're not from this area. So
I don't go up to people and say that, but
a guy was standing behind us, and he said, "You all aren't from around here, are you?" And we said, "No." And he said, "Where are you from?" And we said, "Kentucky." And so the band that we were there to see, the headlining band, is called Hayseed Dixie, which is a bluegrass cover band. They have some original songs, but what they're known for are their bluegrass and Appalachian covers of hard rock and
like AC/DC and bluegrass.
Yeah, Ozzy
in bluegrass,
Black Sabbath
in bluegrass.
And then they did some more pop oriented. They did a Britney Spears song
in bluegrass.
Right. And so a Pink song.
It's so good.
Yeah, they were really, really good. And so the guy that was standing in line, he was like, "Oh, Kentucky." And we were like, "Yeah." And we started talking about the different things that Kentucky is known for. And I bring up, well, actually, the city we're from has the Bluegrass Music Hall of Fame. And he said, "Oh, Owensboro." And we were like, "What?"
He didn't say it like that, but it was Owensboro.
Yeah. And so he was like, "Yeah." He said, "Me and some friends want to go there and go to the Bluegrass Museum." So I just thought that was so interesting that we're
standing right behind us in line.
Standing in line in Portsmouth, England to see a concert. And the guy behind us that's from this area wants to go to Owensboro to the Bluegrass Music Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I think that's pretty neat.
So I liked Portsmouth. Now, our last kind of intermittent stop was Oxford, and it's going to be hard for anything to compare to that, in my opinion. That's the favorite city of mine so far. Portsmouth was our 23rd city on our stop so far. So I liked it. I would recommend it. But it is more of what I would consider a traditional town in the States. It seemed very familiar.
I think that you could probably visit that town in 3 days.
Yeah, easy.
and not be rushed. But it's a nice place to go, but it's not like you would take a long vacation there.
Right.
It would be 3 days.
And they did have a nice boardwalk right out on the ocean. We went there and got coffee. I think Penny's posted a video of that. And then we also went one day and just spent a day at a coffee shop on the beach. And it was rainy, so the weather wasn't great, but you still were sitting right there on the ocean.
It was really cool. We were right there on the ocean. You could watch it rain because it was all glassed around us. And you could just watch it rain and sit there and do, whatever work that you wanted to do. And it was neat. I can't believe we spent as long as we did there.
Yeah, we were there for 5 hours.
Yeah, and we were busy the whole time.
Right. So anyway, that's our wrap up of Portsmouth. We're in Amberley now. We'll give you some information about that in a upcoming video. So
it's amazing.
It is. So stay tuned for that.
Abroad.
Peace.